Evening. Let me get my camera set up. My phone, my camera, phone. Anyway, what's going on? So Shelby says cold smoking cheese. Yeah, definitely agree with that. That is definitely a good use for the cold. Let's see, KB, what's going on? Is this thing on? Do. Yes, it is. Matic ones is Dash. Where's Dash? I am right here. Jimmy, this is what's up. Ken, how you doing? He says, evening, Dash. How you doing this evening, everybody? How is everyone doing? It is chilly. I'm debating whether I'm going to go and steal my wife's heater that she has in the front room and put it underneath the table where I'm sitting, or if I'm going to turn the heat up. But I don't really want to turn the heat up in the whole house. KB says, greetings and salutation. Well, I should say salutations. But yes, right back at you. Ken, agreed. Definitely agreed. Look, I have my hat on because my head is cold. And, whew, just a chill just thinking about it. It is, Alexa, what's the current temperature? 29 degrees Fahrenheit is what she said. So, hey, Laura. Reminds me, I was waiting specifically for this live stream. I did not open the box. What's in the box? What's in the box? So Laura, she took the opportunity to send me, see, SDSBBQ, P.O. Box 3236, Catonsville, Maryland, 21222. I was about to say 9 because I live in 21229, but the P.O. Box is in 21228. So 21228. So she took the opportunity to send me something. Now, she told me what it was, but I am going to open it on the live stream. I have been waiting specifically to open it and eat some of it on the live stream. We've been above freezing here in Dallas, and we haven't been above freezing here in Dallas in over a week. Yeah, Ken, that's what happens. Laura says, BRB, need coffee, hurry up. All right, I am cutting off the label because I need to make sure that I save this address because I have to put I gotta put some stuff in the mail to Laura. It's only right? She sends me something, I send her something. Yeah. Want her to know that I am very appreciative. So we're gonna put some stuff in the mail. Alright. I have been waiting, seriously. I've been waiting a week to open up this box. Big Reggie Reg, what's going on? FCB says, evening, Dash in chat. KB says 59 in NorCal. Oh boy, it's freezing here in Las Vegas, bro. It's 50 degrees. Jeez, 50 degrees. 50 degrees, actually, it was like, it wasn't that warm, but it was warmer. I guess it was Sunday afternoon, and 50 degrees. I was out in a t-shirt, man. That's warm compared to. See, the whole thing is temperature is relative. When you are subjected to, again, the current temperature where I am is 29 degrees. Would I want to sit out in 29 degrees for very long? No. But will I wear the appropriate clothing to be able to sit out in 29 degree weather? Yes. And that includes, pants that have like flannel line or fleece lined, putting on an extra shirt or a shirt that has, or a jacket that has like fleece line inside. That's what I have to do. And you guys have seen this hat in videos. and it's specifically to cover my ears. I find, or I've, in life as an adult, my hands and my ears, well, my hands and my head have to be warm. If I can keep my head warm and my hands warm, usually I can stay out in the cold for, I won't say ever, but for as long as I need to. I really have an issue, or I start to run into problems. Like the last time I had a decent sized cook, actually my feet were cold because I was outside for such a long period of time, and I could not, like, I ended up having to like take my shoes off and get in the shower because I could not get my feet warm. Um, Pain in the bass is here in Texas. I had to barbecue in the snow the last 2 days because we have no power. Sorry to hear that. FCB says balmy 18 degrees Fahrenheit up north. Ken says I don't have enough wood to fire mine up for a smoke. So Ken, that's when you need to have some charcoal on hand, man. Yep. Look, there we go. This pain in the bass says I was looking to find charcoal at a small store in Alvarado. Gabriel, he says, "What's up, Vato? Nada contigo, nada conmigo." Wait, did I say that right? Nada, yeah, nada conmigo, I think. We got down to 0, even -1 in some places on Sunday. Uh, 0, like less than 32 degrees 0, or 0 degrees Celsius. I had to shovel my driveway for the first time in 20 years this weekend. Man, I've had to shovel my we had to shovel the I had to shovel my driveway twice in about a week, which has not happened in multiple years. And actually, what's crazy is we're supposed to be getting some more snow tomorrow. So remember last Wednesday we had a live stream and it was snowing and I was showing you guys the snow. So the weekend before it snowed that Sunday into Monday, or like that Saturday into Sunday, and it was like, okay. Then last week it snowed Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or it snowed like Wednesday, Thursday, a little bit of precipitation on Friday, and then Saturday morning we had more precipitation. It was just a little bit too warm for it to be snow. Mr. Fishy Isaac says, "Hey yo, Mike." He says, Cars and Q's with Mike. I can't talk tonight. Goodness gracious. Can 0 degrees Fahrenheit? Ow! Holy cow! That is pretty darn cold. Where in Texas are you, Ken? Laura says she's bad at, which means I can't help it. Laura says she's bad at. All right, so here's the deal. I've told you guys before. I have a PO box, and Laura took this opportunity because we were talking about candy. So she took the opportunity and she sent me some Canadian candy. Let me not cut my finger. Golly, they know how to wrap boxes in Canada, apparently. My knife is sharp. Can y'all see? It's a little dirty from the tape, but my knife is sharp. And I am having a heck of a time. Laura, she didn't want me to get in this box. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. All right. I has excite. Oh man. All right. Dallas. All right. So, Smarties, eh? What makes these limited edition? I guess they're red and white, maybe for, I was gonna say Christmas, but maybe red and white for Canada Day? I don't know. Crunchy. Alright. Sponge toffee. Great for sharing. Yeah, right. Oh, wait. Wonder Bar. That's pretty good. Oh, these are Cadbury chocolates. I like Cadbury chocolates. This one's a Score. I've had this before. We have these Butter Toffee Crunch enrobed in milk chocolate. Definitely have had that. Haven't had it in a long time. There's 2 scores. Coffee Crisp. Ooh. Coffee Crisp. Let's see. No, it doesn't say. Oh no. Wafer bar. Makes a nice light snack. Sure it does. There's a couple of those in there. Let's move that up. Oh, and there's a bigger one. This one says 100% sustainably sourced coca. All right, all right. Oh my goodness. And then we have some regular Smarties. Same amount, less packaging, it says. All right, candy coated milk chocolate. She said these are like what we call M&Ms. They sound like M&Ms. And they're made by Nestle. Who makes M&Ms? Is it Nestle or Mars? More Smarties. Oh, she hooked it out. Oh my gosh, I have a Canada bottle opener. Heck yeah. Thank you, Laura. This is best. This is best. Alright, oh my gosh. Plenty. There's still more coffee crisps. Here's another, some more coffee crisps, and more Smarties. I think there's enough for me to actually give some of all of this to, my kids. Except for, which one? Which one was it? This one? This Thunder Bar? And this Crunchy? It says great for sharing. Nah. Not being shared. I hear Taste Tester number 1 is in the kitchen and he is chomping at the bit. It says SDSBBQ, not Taste Tester number 1. I've helped. Yeah, They don't want to be on video anymore. So I'm gonna pull out a box of Smarties. I have a coffee crisp. All right, that's probably enough. We'll see. Yeah, that's probably enough for right now. We'll move the chocolate away from the radiator though, so it doesn't get too hot. All right, let's see. When you get 26 inches at once, then you can complain. Yeah, I guess. Of snow? Yeah. We have had, I'm trying to think, it was maybe 2 or 3 years ago, maybe a little bit more. But we had more snow in Baltimore than than my family did in Philadelphia. And usually further up the East Coast you go, the higher the snow totals. But for whatever reason, we got not the eye, but the storm just sat in Baltimore, and we had like 30 inches of snow and we ended up having, like I said, more snow that they got in Philly. They got like 2 feet of snow, 24 inches of snow, where we had 30 inches. We had almost 3 feet of snow in Baltimore, and it was ridiculous. So, been there. Kirk, I thought I saw you, but I didn't. I don't think I said hi. Kirk says, perfect weather for cold smoking. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I have a good friend who lives in Alberta, Canada. It was negative 44°C. Jeez. In Lemires, Iowa, it was negative 21. So, Mike, do you live not far from Kent? I thought he lives in that area. What, Laura? Some places don't sell Smarties. Okay. Da-da-da-da. Paul, how you doing, man? He says, hey, yo, it's like Christmas Day at Dash's house. Heck yeah. Oh, man. Up in Quart, they're almost exclusively electric heat. Jeez. Love scoring blizzards. All right. Well, I scored definitely with this box. So thank you so very much. FCB says our house up north are simply well insulated. That too. What's up, Lou? Lou Kalamata's in the building. How you doing this evening, Lou? Smarties are the best. Hershey's makes M&M's. Okay. Uh, that's it. That's a care package. Very, yes, indeed. I will be hiding the candy. Trust me. Okay, Mike says he goes. Mike says he goes out west a lot, but Kent lives in that Lamar's. I gotta fix my belt here. Sorry, Kent from. Oh my gosh, why can't I think of the name of Kent's channel? I'm straight drawing a blank. It's been a very long day. This morning I woke up. It's been a trying day. I woke up this morning. It was 3 o'clock, and I woke up like wide awake at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh man, I need to go back to sleep, and I couldn't go back to sleep. I sat for about 15 minutes, and I'm like, all right, I try to go. I had another hour and a half. Yeah, Daddy Dutch. Thank you, thank you. I'm like, Lou, I just this brain for it. I couldn't go back to sleep, so I'm up. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Maybe I'll turn on my phone. And I turned on my phone and I started watching something on YouTube, and then all of a sudden it was watching me. So I'm like, perfect, great. But that was like 4:15, 4:30. My alarm went off, and I'm like, all right, it's 4:30. I need to roll out of bed, get up. I turned the alarm off. Next thing I know, it's 4:45, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be showered and then down the stairs, ready to walk out the door, or at least down the stairs by 5. And it wasn't until like 5:05, 5:10 by the time I got downstairs. And it's just been a day. Anyway, uh, okay. Laura says there was more I was looking for that a Canadian made. Well, not for nothing. Let me know what I can donate, and I will donate to the cause, and you can send some more. I am so very grateful. I've like I said, I've been waiting to open this box. Definitely wanted to open it on camera. Lucis to me, there's something about seeing the steam come off the grill when it's cold and snowing. He used to call me weird. Nope, not at all. I was negative 50s in southwest Saskatchewan. Woo! Goodness gracious. With a couple of flakes a week ago, but I think it was conspiracy by the bread and milk companies. Bread, milk, and egg. All right? For whatever reason. And speaking of one of the things that today was a day. So, I ended up having to go to the market this evening. Just it's gonna snow here tomorrow. It's supposed to snow here tomorrow, and we're there. It's supposed to snow, and we're supposed to get enough snow that they've already closed schools, right? And they have said that they are going to work virtually. Any in-person school, they've closed it, and the kids are going to work virtually. So I'm in the market, and I went in the market to get some lima beans for my wife. My wife made lima bean soup today, and she needed more lima beans. So I'm in the market and I have lima beans. I have some pretzel rods. I have some cheese, like cheese, uh, what is it? Queso con or salsa con queso. So cheesy salsa, some regular salsa, and I have hot dog buns because I'm like, I know I have hot sausage that we'll probably end up eating tomorrow, and I don't have any hot dog buns. We have regular bread already. We have bread, we have eggs, we have milk, so we were good there. But I'm telling you, bread, eggs, milk, and toilet paper are the four things that almost every single person in line had one or more of those following things. Uh, Daddy Dutch, yeah, because he's my best friend in the whole wide world. But you're first, thank you. I appreciate that, Laura. I've never heard of so many people I know from the States that think Smarties or Skittles or M&M's. No way. All right, well, you know what? Let's just. All right, so let's just. It's kind of hard because, and this is what they look like. All right, so I mean they look like M&Ms, and unfortunately I don't have an M&M to directly compare it to. But the one thing I will tell you that I noticed right away, it is thinner and wider than an M&M is. Can you close that, please, and get out of there? But, they taste differently too. The chocolate is different, but as is the candy coating. The candy coating is thicker. At least it feels thicker. I don't know. Maybe it's just more of it. Come on, focus. There you go. Lewis said, it's like the cows, chickens are going extinct, and all of the bread distributors are going to go out of business. People's carts are filled. I don't get it. Then they expire. This is no. No. They're yum. Oh, man. Oh, man. Well, Jamie, I'm so glad to hear from you guys. You were one of my Texas folks that I checked in with today. If you guys don't know, Jamie and Marcus are in Dripping Springs, Austin, South Austin, Dripping Springs, Texas, and have been affected as well with the cold temperatures there in Texas. So, Jamie, I checked on them. I sent text messages to Marcus earlier today, checking in, talking to him. I checked on Alton, the dog father. His day job, he actually works with and or in electricity, so he's been busy. He told me he's been working for 72 hours straight, and he was just either about to take a nap or just like took a nap. And also checked in with Justin, the baby back maniac, and hit him up and said, ask him how he was doing. Oh man, I didn't hit Johnny up. I should have hit Johnny up. With the Texas folks. Put about 60 in your mouth, let them melt. Milk chocolate, not dark chocolate. Oh, I know it's milk chocolate. I can taste that. Mubu says M&M's, yes, Smarties without the candy coating. The candy coating on these Smarties is thicker than the candy coating on M&M's. Laura says, love me some Smarties. Hey, Mr. Fishy Isaac brings up a very valid point. Just don't forget to hit the likes. Thank you. My favorite is eat more bars. I didn't get any of those. Frozen truck pipes and down limbs on the trailer. Sadly, nothing that fell was pecan. No. Any word on Grumpus? I do not have Grumpus's contact information, though I did hear indirectly that he has had some issues with some freezing pipes at his house as well, but I have not spoken to him directly. Actually, I'm from Fort Worth, Texas right now I'm in Fort Worth right now for a delivery tomorrow. Oh, golly. How are the roads? What are the conditions like? I mean, Mike, you probably would be a decent barometer because you've driven around the country. I can't talk. Is busy whipping our butts at Chickenfoot. Is that a card game? Oh, Big Reggie Reg says Cadbury made them. Cadbury made Smarties? Some of the other chocolate, it was Cadbury stuff, but I don't know. It says Nestle. Nestle. Love them eat more. I think I might have a recipe for them too. Huh. Oh, alright. Domino! Oh boy. Who's we? I guess maybe you and your moms? Alright, that's 6. Laura. The rum and butter bar. Wigwam bars. Red says. All right. Well, Jamie, by all means, do not allow me to hinder your family time. Okay, when I was a kid growing up in Ontario, Canada. Reg, I didn't know you were Canadian. Hmm. Someone. Welcome to me. Quality entertainment. Oh boy. I haven't even started drinking yet. I don't know how entertaining I'm gonna be. Anyway. So, not to gross you out, but putting 6 of the Smarties in my mouth at one time and letting them melt, and then you kind of just, like, it just takes very little pressure to get the chocolate out of the candy. There's a lot of candy coating left. Hmm. Goodness gracious. Alright, Reg, well, still, you born in Canada? You're not renouncing your Canadian citizenship? Maybe, I don't know, maybe you have dual citizenship? Alright, so today, I'm going to put a little bit of a dent on, this is the Kirkland vodka, and I have a energy drink. I actually drank one of the energy drinks earlier, or a energy drink earlier. This one was an apple. Super sour green apple. It's pretty good, actually. But I figured I should try to stay awake. Nice. Can't tell what time it is when the power is out, so it's 5 o'clock everywhere. Yes, indeed. Any videos on cold smoked cheese? Shelby, no, I have not done a video on cold smoked cheese in a few years. Just because I just haven't. It's one of those things where I find I had been trying to cook a good amount when I was doing videos on cooking. I was trying to cook more for my family to eat and or for me for events. So while cold smoking cheese was for the family, I just haven't done any in quite some time. But I will probably do some more before the winter is out. But yeah. Late start. Victor, how you doing? He says, late start, but I'm here now. Hope to hear tonight from our barbecue brothers and sisters. My thoughts and prayers for you folks. Oh, hi there, Dash. All right, Reg says, I'm Dooley. All right, well, that's what's up. Pat's Texas Style said I had no power for 5 days. Think they have stopped trying to in rural communities. So someone else who I heard from was Richard down at Arnie Barbecue. He's down in Louisiana. I saw on Instagram that he also was dealing with no power. He's dealt with no power for multiple days now. His cell phone is spotty at best, and he's gonna try and keep folks updated. Yeah. Next time you have Skittles, take a bunch and put a small bottle to color and flavor the vodka. Yes, indeed. Sometimes though, Laura, I've done that plenty of times to with vodka for sure. Especially if you've never done Jolly Ranchers. Man. Chocolate Capricorn. She says, "Hey everyone, long time no see here in Texas and unprepared." I'm so sorry to hear that you are there in Texas. There's 4 power trucks in Fort Worth, Texas that the pilot covered in snow. Jeez, yes indeed. Eric says, "Hey yo, Mr. Dash and barbecue family. Stay warm, folks, and be safe," Mike says. Dave says, "How is it? Shout out from Toronto." Well, thank you, David. I appreciate you stopping in. Yo, the Canadians are. I start talking about the code. The Canadians come through like gangbusters. They're like, "Hey, did you say something about cold, eh?" That was horrible. I'm sorry. Do not at me. All right, but So let's get to talking about let's get to talking about cooking in the cold. I've done a couple of videos on cooking in the cold, and cooking in the cold can be miserable. It just that is just there is no other way around it other than it can be miserable, downright miserable. In the summer, cooking when it's hot can also be miserable. They are the opposite ends of the spectrum. But to me, one of the things I do not do when I am cooking in the cold is drink. I have found that when I'm cooking, period, I try not to drink because, especially when I'm cooking for someone else, because the worst thing I could do is fall asleep and prolong my cook, and it throws off my timeline. Ah, no, Mike. So annihilators, I like to eat the annihilators. All right. Never have I put annihilators in liquor. Jolly Ranchers, yes. Skittles, yes. Annihilators, no. Uh, yes, indeed. I'm actually in. Okay, you just live here. Okay. After eights are the best. After eight, I guess the after eight bar. Uh, Only time for barbecue is if it's too windy, no carport. So Laura, one of the things that I'll tell you is you might have to end up turning your grill or your smoker or whatever, your cooker. You'll have to turn it so that it is not, getting that wind to make it to cause problems, or you'll have to build some sort of like structure, like a windbreak or something like that, to help with that. Because there are times you guys have seen in videos where I have the exhaust that points out the window, and if the wind is blowing just right, that wind blows right in through the exhaust, in through the cooking chamber, in through through and underneath the smoker, underneath the diverter plate, and out through the firebox. And I will get like fireballs that just like come out the intake, and it's like whoa. And you can see the temperature in the smoker drop just for a second. Now that's when I'm using Bessie, the wood burning smoker. If the wind is blowing just right, I will have to deal with issues. Uh, Eric says if you have a nice offset, that firebox is the lifesaver. Yes, indeed. Yeah, but Eric, I'm telling you, when it's that cold, is that cold, and I don't care how much firebox or that is just not going to help. I have been at the coldest I've cooked at Bessie. It was like under 20 degrees, and it was miserable. It was miserable. I had on a hoodie along with like a thicker, sweatshirt type jacket, a hat, fleece lined, pants, and a decent set of boots. And I didn't have on like a winter type glove. I had on just like a work glove, a mechanic glove, just so I could throw sticks. And it was miserable. And I sat out at the cooker for probably about an hour or so, and I had my feet like here's the firebox. My feet are right here, so I'm sitting there like this, you know, trying to stay warm, and my feet, I'm trying to keep my feet warm, and it's just miserable. It was miserable, but I got the cook done. Uh, Pet bars, okay. I was gonna see look out. Hi. Uh, Hi. I learned a lot watching you. Marcel says, keep doing your thing. Glad to find another barbecue bro on the East Coast. Yes, indeed. I've cooked in my UDS down to negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow. I am lucky to say that I've never had to cook never had to cook in temperatures that low. And actually, I haven't cooked. I guess I cooked a few weeks ago on the drum, and it was pretty cold. I mean, when I say pretty cold, it was like in the 30s. It was right about freezing, like 32 degrees or so, but it wasn't like in the 20s. Sean says, "What up? What up? What up? It's cold in Houston, man. This cold is winter. Y'all just aren't used to this." Uh, yeah, Laura. I'm telling you, they. Uh, and that was the missus that came through. Um, oh look, you know what? Come here, taste tester number 3. Can you stop stomping, please? Put your hand out. This is for her. Go away. Go away. Nope, not right now. You come here. Taste it. Tell me what you think. Can you say hi? It's not prejudice. You were in the kitchen doing something. Guys, okay. Good night. What do you think of that? It's different. You don't like it? Oh, she gave him back. It's not M&M's. She really likes M&M's. I don't know. You don't want to try it? It's too late. It's got a harder candy shell. I'm from the Midwest, but we're not set up for this in Texas. No, y'all aren't. I mean, it's just, yeah. Yeah, Laura, I don't know if you saw her face, but she's not a fan. Chocolate is chocolate to me. It's not bad. Again, it has a thicker candy shell than the M&M does. Moo says it's a gross candy shell. Yeah. You waiting for her to go back upstairs? Like
Wait for you to come upstairs?
No, we can go ahead and get in bed. What was I eating? So this.
Did you not let him try it?
No, I didn't. He was in the kitchen cooking. You can ask for one.
Can I try one?
Did Sydney ask for one, or did you ask for it?
No, I offered because she was walking past. Here. He made a face too. Hold on.
It's kind of weird.
It's got a thicker. The candy coating is thicker than M&M's, and we're I won't say expecting, but the only thing I can compare it to is an M&M, and
It's shaped like one, little like disc-like, I guess. I don't know.
it's more it's not oblong, but it's not as like
Tiny?
I don't know how. It's not as thick.
Oh, tiny.
We're not talking about him being real tiny. I got it. His vocabulary isn't
You
it?
shouldn't say that to many people.
Yeah. Or says this good. Look, Mike says more for you. Agreed. I mean, I'm going to let the candy coating dissolve a little bit. When it gets cold during the cook, the propane heater becomes your best new friend. All right. Yeah, Laura, we're not talking about those. So is there something you can get that can be used to retain the heat in a kettle? A drum, a stick burner, or a gasser that you don't have to worry about it burning. So Jimmy, I'm gonna say no. Aside from like a welding blanket, that would be the only thing that I could, a welding blanket or even a mover's blanket. But you'd have to be careful with those because if they get too hot, they can burn up. One of the other things too you might be able to find, Jimmy, is a fire blanket. I think a fire blanket. If you look up a fire blanket, let's look on Amazon right now while I'm at it. Fire blanket. Come on. Come on. Fire blanket. Okay, so no. These blankets are. This is not what I'm thinking of. Okay, so this is a fire retardant blanket, but this is not. It's not insulated and like something that'll keep in heat. It just seems like it's used if you have a fire, you wrap the fire up in a blanket. Where I'm thinking more of a moving blanket or like a welder's blanket type deal. Meeks' priceless reactions. The crunch is okay, but I'd rather have the score on Mars bar. Uh, yep. So Eric says a welding blanket. WhatsApp is too cold for you to cook if a client wants to order. St. Urban. I won't say there's no temperature too cold because it kind of depends, but I will make a way. I'll get it done. So the thing is, when it's cold out, I try to do one or two things. I either try and cook in an insulated smoker so I don't have to go out to the cooker as much, and the insulated smoker will maintain the temperature very well, or I cook much closer to my house, so I spend less time walking back and forth to the cooker in the garage. And actually, the last cook that I did, it was last Saturday, and I won't say the problem, but what ended up, it's there was snow on the ground, so I was crunching through the snow all night long, back and forth between the house and the garage. Take some vanilla ice cream, break up Score, Smarties, and add them for your homemade blizzard. Yeah, buddy. FCB says the welding blanket has worked well for me. Let's see if we can find a welding blanket. Control T. Amazon. See what we can find. Man. Welding blanket. Yeah. All right, and they're not very expensive. So here's an 8x8 one. Fiberglass 4x6 welding blanket. I mean, 4x6 is 20, 21, 22 bucks. And the 8x8 one is 50. Most cookers you probably could get away with using a 4x6 one. Here, let me see. I will get this, the link for this, and I'll put it into the chat if I can get there. So, as far as things to use, that's definitely something to try if you guys want to check out that link. It is a, it will help to insulate, and it will not, easily catch on fire. 12 degrees in Wisconsin, and I'll cook with my stick burner. It takes a lot more fuel, though. Meeks, that is one of the things that I was actually talking to a friend, a coworker today about. He was asking me. He said, do you cook with wood? And I said, yeah. He said, well, I'm thinking about getting a wood burning stove. And I'm like, oh, okay. He said, well, actually, not a wood burning stove, but a insert to put into his fireplace that he can burn, wood there to help heat up his house when it gets really cold. He's like, because my heat pump is running. He said, but it's just not doing enough. And I'm like, all right. So we talked for about a half an hour or so, and it's one of those things where if you cook with fire, or you're using fire to heat up your home, you still have to abide by the same or similar rules. So definitely one of the things I told him was just expect to, when it's cold and colder, you're going to use more fuel, more wood. Just that's the nature of the beast, as far as cooking with wood. And I'm like, I could go through way more wood when it's cold out, because not only am I trying to heat up the smoker, I'm trying to heat. I gotta fight against all of that heat loss that I have from the just atmospheric heat loss. I use movers blankets on the smokers on the cook chamber, but never the firebox solution. Get an insulated smoker. Yep. Darnell, he says, "What's up, gang? Cheers." Oh, speaking of which, I need to drink up. FCB says Harbor Freight has good prices on welding blankets. Um, Kanuki Dave. So, how you doing? Talking about cooking in the cold. There's another Canadian, and so FCB, the welder blankets or welding blankets that Harbor Freight has, are they cloth or are they leather? Because I know that I picked up a leather welding. I don't remember if it was a blanket or an apron. It might have been an apron, so maybe that's why I'm thinking it's leather. Nothing like a Frosty from Wendy's. Yeah, Darnell, I don't mind those. Laura says to try one. Was not impressed. Oh man. See, Laura, you got to when you get a Frosty from Wendy's, you have to eat the Frosty and your fries. You dip your fries into your Frosty. The sweet and the savory together with the hot and the cold. It's like peas and carrots. Definitely. Or like maple and syrup for you guys who are in Canada. Uh got my stickers for my business. They turned out good. That's what's up, Meeks. I really enjoy your videos, Avon Warren. All right. Well, thank you. All right. Fiberglass. Okay. Mm. Eric agrees with me about the French fries and the frosty with the sweet and the savory and the hot and the cold. He said fries and the frosty. Moobus is not a fan of maple. Sorry. Look, look. You fine. There are some American things that I'm not a fan of either, and it's just me. Uh, I was basically gonna shake a stick at Brahms in Oklahoma. Well, I did the milkshake, but most of the time I would have poutines. All right. Only thing that goes in my frosty is my spoon. No, Mike. No, no, no. You gotta dip. If I'm telling you. If you have never tried, look, listen. Stick with me, okay? I will never, usually, I will usually never steer you wrong. And one of those things that I can tell you, like with 90%, conviction and assurance that you will like it, fries, hot fries. They have to be hot fries, like fresh. Yes, I will wait for a new batch of fries to cook. Hot and fresh fries. Get yourself a little bit, I won't say extra salt, but make sure they put a decent amount of salt on those fries. And the hot and the savory from the fries into the cold and the sweet from the frosty. Man, man. Big says fries dipped in gravy. So I'm not a fan of gravy. So I'm not a fan. So like Laura talked about the poutine. I could have the poutine without the gravy. I actually had poutine. There's a place here in Baltimore that does poutine, and it was pretty good. It was brisket and cheese and what else was on it? Some other stuff. Oh, brisket, cheese. I feel like there was other stuff on it, but it was pretty good. And I didn't mess with the gravy. French says fries and frosties are banging. The salt and the chocolate go together as well. Yes, indeed. Yeah. So, Rich, salt is a flavor enhancer. So it's just gonna bring everything together. Holy crap, Moo Boo, you're a true Canadian. Eric says, listen, Linda. I'm gonna go buy a frosty fries just cause of you now. You know what, Meeks? Look, I'm telling you, if you don't like it, you let me know and I'll refund you your like $2 for your frosty and your fries. All right, I got you because it's good. Yeah, Darnell says, yeah, you have to dip the fries in the frosty. Yes. Dave says, fact, fries and frosty iconic. Now you miss my uncle making it every year. How about some vodka in that frosty? So vodka and chocolate, nah, not. to me, I'm not necessarily a fan. Um, wow, Bill, what's going on? Add on poutines. I'd enjoy a vodka frosty. I don't know, man. Deals on the refund. Yeah, Meeks, I'm telling you, I, I'm like I said, 90% sure you're gonna like it. Everything isn't for everybody, so I'm not going to say I'm guaranteeing. We working with a high percentage. The Middle Eastern folks in Canada do a shawarma poutine. It was cracking. So I don't think I've ever had shawarma, like real shawarma. Um, been years since I had a brandy slush. Oh man. See, now I can deal with mixing like liquor in with like slushes like from Sonic or 7-Eleven, or even like slushes from Sonic, Slurpees from 7-Eleven, and then I guess whatever the icy, whoever does ices, right? But a frosty, that's ice cream and chocolate and liquor. I steer kind of clear of those. Even since we are getting hit with 9 inches of snow and we are scheduled for an office meeting luncheon for 30, they postponed. How do you normally handle bad weather? So, Avon, one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about cooking in cold weather is because I've had this very situation happen. So, part of the problem is this: when you're doing barbecue, you're not cooking to order. You're not cooking on demand. How about that? That's a better thing to say. You have to cook ahead of time because of the time it takes to do barbecue. So what ends up happening is you kind of have to pay attention to the weather and how and or if the weather is going to be bad. So that if I'm going to, so today is Wednesday, we're having a luncheon on Friday, right? The weather is going to be bad tomorrow, and they're going to tell me, yeah, go or no go, whether or not we're going to have this event. So if we have the event, yay, all right. Then I'm going to cook as scheduled Thursday night into Friday morning. If they're like, no, 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 we're not going to have the event, then I'm going to evaluate or reevaluate what it is I'm cooking. Is this something that I can freeze? Is this something that I have to, keep refrigerated? Is this something that I can cook now and put away, like put in vacuum seal bags and then thaw it out in a week or two? Okay. But I had an event a few years ago, and this event was for my kids past school or old school, and they were having a gala. Okay, they have a gala every, I guess it was about February, March time frame, and it was their uh, um, what's it annual gala, and there was a theme that particular year, and the theme was like, I don't remember, but they wanted some barbecue there. So I was like, oh, guess who does barbecue? And they're like, great, can you come in and feed us? I'm like, sure. So they placed a pretty decent order, and I had to have food and serve it and all this other stuff. So I'm like, great. Well, the gala was on Friday night, right? On Wednesday night, they canceled it. So I'm like, darn. Well, they canceled it based on the fact that we were supposed to get snow. And they canceled it in enough time to try and let people know in case obviously they were doing things like I had to do and cook. Well, I got stuck with however many pounds of food, and it was a substantial amount of food that I had to decide on what I was, what I was going to do. So I says, you know what? I'm going to cook everything, right? And I think it was almost to the point where I had already started cooking things, and that's when they canceled stuff. And I'm like, well, I kind of have to finish cooking everything. So once they canceled, I'm like, I've already started, I gotta keep, finish. So what I ended up doing was I finished cooking everything, and then I went out to Instagram. Went out to my Instagram, and I'm like, hey, I have food for sale. I have a lot of food for sale. I had probably 25 pounds of brisket, and I probably bought another 30 pounds of pork shoulder and some chicken. Also, all for sale. And I'm like, who wants what? I'm delivering food all weekend long. And that's exactly what I did. So I ended up making more money that weekend off of the food, and then the very next weekend or in 2 weekends, I bought everything, the same amounts that I needed to cook for the event, cooked for the event, served up the event, and everything was right as rain. So you kind of have to make a decision, a game time decision on what you're going to do. You either have to abort the cook, okay, and then figure out what you're going to do with the raw food, whether it be keep it refrigerated, or if you can freeze it because the event is going to be pushed out for too far away. You can cook all of the food, and then if you cook all of the food, you can decide whether or not you're going to, refrigerate it and like package everything up, refrigerate it, and have it saved for the event. You can cook all of the food, and then you can vacuum seal stuff, which will obviously keep it tasting much fresher. And then you have to decide whether you're going to keep it refrigerated or freeze it. But basically, majority of those, it's just like one of those if then else type deals, right? One of those circle boxes. Is it yes? Then here. If it's no, then here. If it's one of those type deals, and you have to figure out what's going to work best for your situation. I can't give you every single scenario because every scenario is going to be different and variables and all of those things. Yes, yeah. So, Avon, hopefully that helps. I know that was a long-winded way. Clear and vanilla ice cream. He says, "Ask me how I know." Now that might be something I have to do soon. Speaking of which, Jimmy, I might be. Remember, I told you I might be down in that area. That delivery, the guy called me about making that delivery for him, so I might be rolling through at some point soon. Donair meat, yeah. Slush puppy and liquor. Yeah, they're good. Make it Kahlua. Cream liquors are good. Like the orange cream tippy cow. Yum. Someone forced. uh, you guys are hilarious. Like a vodka flute, yes. Taylor, he says, "Hey, Dad, finally caught you after missing a few. Well, I appreciate you being here. Hopefully, everything is well with you, sir. I know you are in Alabama, and hopefully, it's not too cold for you. I know you're probably just not used to the cold, but hopefully, you have not been really affected." Victor says, "Really love hearing how you use Instagram." Well, Instagram from almost like back in the day, Instagram, earlier Instagram is way different than current Instagram, and it is not my go-to tool any longer. At least for the current time being, because I found that my network, I get people that reach out to me and they ask for things, they ask me to cook, and I have almost say no problem. I have very little problem selling food by people who contact me. I don't have to advertise and sell food via Instagram as much any longer. Now, if I have something that I really want to get rid of or really have to get rid of, I will try to post pictures on Instagram. But one of the things about posting pictures and things on Instagram now, where it was before, now if you post something and say for sale, if you post something and say, like a dollar amount or whatever it is, Instagram will not push those posts as much. Instagram will get to the point where they're like, hey, you should advertise to get this out in front of more people. Especially if you set up and you make your account a business account. That's one of the things that I've been contemplating removing the business status from my account on Instagram, because then they know you're running a business or using a business in conjunction with this Instagram account, which means you have marketing budget. So we're going to ask you for marketing money. And we're going to tell you that we're going to put your posts in front of way more eyes than they actually do, so you can pay us money, because Instagram is trying to get paid. Back in the day, you posted a picture, people saw that picture in chronological order. Now it's a popularity contest. So I'm a bit jaded when it comes to Instagram and posts and pay for posts and ads and things like that. So don't get me started. We could devote a whole show to a whole live stream to Instagram and how it has changed. Mike says, when you vacuum seal a bag of barbecue, how long does it stay fresh for? Dude, I've months. do not allow people to tell you, oh, it's not going to be the same, bruh. My aunt, who lives in Pittsburgh, if you've been around the live stream long enough, you have seen me send food to my aunt. You've seen me drive food to my aunt, and you may even seen a video of of me. Like I know I have a video specifically of me talking to my aunt. This was, I can't even remember when it was, but there's a video of me talking to my aunt, and I'm like, this is that aunt, yes, right. Anyway, I will cook a whole brisket, right, and I'll cook a brisket, and I will put it in vacuum seal bags, and I'll usually make the bags about a pound and a half, and I'll put them in a box and I'll send them to her. She might pull out a bag once every month, once every 2 months, and she's like, it's just the same as if I was eating at the table with you the day you cooked it. She's like, it's fine. All you have to do is reheat it, and it's fine. Like as long as it's vacuum sealed properly, where there's no like, you get a good seal on it, it's fine. All right. Jimmy says, hey, wait, it's time to hit that thumbs up. If you haven't hit that thumbs up button for me, please, 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 could you? It really does help make me feel better about doing these videos. It helps these videos in the long run, and it helps my channel. So I am definitely, yes. Chef says, I'm going to bed. Here to say, hey, dropping a thumbs up. Thank you, Chef. They were me here. I sure will, Jimmy. Trust me, you're going to be one of the first people to know. Wow, Taylor says, I'm fine. Threw the insulated vertical out there to see how she did. It was 19 degrees Fahrenheit yesterday. She held 260 degrees for 12 hours without issue. Wow. Marcus says, aloha, everyone. Oh, you put the bones down and now you're going to say hi? It's only been an hour, dog. I mean, you could have said hello before. Nah, I'm glad you were able to say what's up and that you've been able to hang out. You folks don't have insulated pipes in these times. Check out insulated heated tape for pipes. So I'm sure, Laura, that it's gonna be, or it is I'm gonna say a moot point, but I'll tell you, we have some. So the way my house is, I'm sitting not in the center of my house, but further this way. So my kitchen. So in this corner, all right, that's an exterior wall. If we were to go downstairs in the basement, there's another behind this wall, or where the window is, obviously that's an exterior wall. But behind that wall, further back, there's a bathroom. And that bathroom is the exterior wall to the back of the house. Downstairs in the basement, there's a little room, okay? And that room, when it gets as cold as it has gotten in Texas, it will be so cold that it will freeze. And this is one of those things that when we get a cold snap, like they've gotten a cold snap, I have a little heater that I put in this room, and I turn it on just to keep the room warm enough so that it does not allow the pipes will freeze, but it won't get to the point where it's cold enough for them to burst, okay? Because they are actually somewhat insulated. Like there's a little bit of fiberglass insulation on those pipes, but it just gets cold enough, and it's to the point where in the very back corner of the basement there's a toilet, or excuse me, in the back corner of, so on the other side of the wall where the microwave is, there's a toilet, okay? And the supply line is what freezes to the toilet. So it's just one of those things where if someone flushes that toilet and it doesn't fill up, I'm like, oh crap, I gotta go put the heater on in the basement. To the point where I leave a heater in the middle of the floor and I leave it on and I just plug it in. Okay, and that's all it is. And usually it'll take an hour or so to warm up the room enough where it does not allow that to happen. And then what will happen is overnight I'll leave it on. During the day when it's warmer, I'll take it off. We also have drain pipes that are run on the exterior of the house, and I've had issues with the toilet upstairs, there's always the toilets that have problems. The toilet upstairs drains into this pipe and it goes outside the house and then back down into, I guess, the central drain in the house. And that pipe has frozen and gotten not clogged but frozen to the point where the toilet won't drain. And that's just when it gets cold, it's cold. And I can only imagine, and that's with my house being prepared for the cold. I can only imagine how some of you guys in Texas and in, further south who are not prepared for the cold, how bad these issues can be. The caramel milk bars are great. Let's see. Living trailers use lots. Yeah. Yes, insulation or heated wrapping. The rum and butter lifesavers. What? Double salted licorice. Remember the keys. All right, you guys are talking about freaking candy. Y'all driving me crazy. I'm trying to see. Rich says it's like 27 degrees out here. Yeah, Rich, I actually asked Alexa what the temperature was a few minutes ago, probably about an hour ago. She said 29 degrees in Baltimore. So Laura says if you leave a drip not much, it can stop the water from freezing. Yes, I have heard that as well, but the water companies want you to do that because they're getting paid. But I mean, a small heater will do the trick as well. I remember, I won't say as a kid, but I remember my dad when my grandparents lived in a house, and then he ended up buying a house next door. When my grandparents got older and they were in the process, actually, I don't know if my grandmother had gone away or what, but something happened. And or I think maybe they still had the house. Like my grandmother moved to a retirement, like an old folks community, and they still had the house because they were doing renovations before they sold it. And he had to go over there and run the water for a little while to make sure the pipes didn't freeze and burst and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, it's not that cold, but when they didn't have the heat on in the house, it was cold enough. Swimming noodles work great on pipes to help from freezing. Yes, indeed, Mike. They are not the best because they don't have the highest insulation or R value, but they do actually sell pipe insulation, like fiberglass pipe insulation. Um, yes, so like heating tape cars. Yep, Gabriel I'm back. What's up? Bienvenido. It's a great end of the. You can't find a heat tape. Yes, indeed, Mike. No, not for nothing. Those noodles will help in a pinch. Rich says I'm up north. My house was built for this weather, although my wonderful job did not take into consideration when adding an addition that were cold 4 months out of the year. Shoot, we are cold 4 months of the year. Shoot, Rich, look, man. That's when we're gonna have to put some heaters up in the ceiling. I actually installed in my basement a 220 volt, like one of those heat coil, like a garage heater. It works pretty darn good. The front room of the basement, it gets like to the point where you can wear shorts and a t-shirt. It gets that warm in there. Um, How with them, your house is being ruined if the water's outside. No, the whole thing is, and our house was old-ish, and I won't say it seems to be a common thing, but it's an ease thing, where the main drain, you get to the main drain, it's on the exterior of the house. So they run some of the toilets or some of the drains outside. And again, where I live, you know, the water goes down there, momentarily. So it's not like it's usually cold enough for it to freeze. But what ended up happening, and one of those things you find out in hindsight, we found out the toilet was running. So it was a very slow leak, and just the toilet running while it was that cold caused a bit of a backup. So, but what ended up happening, or what I ended up doing, was putting a bunch of salt into the water and using a plunger to kind of swish it all around. And thank goodness it wasn't, it was only a number one. It wasn't a number two down there. So it was one of those deals where it just took a little bit of time. Also, I went outside with a heat gun or a blow dryer, and I just rigged it and stuck it in the pipe to help warm up the pipe, and came back in about an hour, and it was the toilet drained. I mean, it's just it's one of those things where it has happened maybe twice in the 15 years we've lived in this house. So it has to be cold for a very long period of time, like under freezing for 7 to 13 days, like not even 2 weeks, but like for an extended period of time. Da-da-da-da. Smoking goodness says, "What's up, everybody?" Move says, "God, as low as negative 52 C here. Didn't have problems except streets were bad." Yeah, I can imagine. Nora says, "If your pipes are in the basement, perfect. This was sitting on sand." She says, "Ugh." I am glad. All right, so I guess Crimson Creek. What's up, Marcus? Says, "Finally made it." That's what's up, man. Thank you so very much. I can't say thank you guys enough for your support. Again, I was talking about Marcus earlier. He was definitely one of those folks that I reached out and found out how he was doing. And he was saying he had a little bit of troubles at his trailer, unfortunately. But, that it can be fixed, right? It can be fixed. So I guess here's my question for you guys. So you've said that you use like welding blankets, and I know I've added moving blankets. How else do you fight the cold or cook in the cold where you are? I know we've kind of veered off topic a bunch, but how do you deal with cooking in the cold? So Laura, he's been here. The whole thing is he has like 13 aliases, so he signs in at different times and hangs out and comments from different accounts. He's one of those folks. like like Ricer, from Deadbrook Barbecue of Wisconsin. He has like 4 or 5 different YouTube accounts that he kind of switches and goes into and out of. He used to come and comment on my videos with his name. He has an account that's his name. It's Jeff Rice. Then he has an account which is like Ricer. Then he has his Deadbrook Barbecue. And then he has like Coach Rice or whatever, or something like that. And like, yeah. And then I would say in the beginning, his sons used to laugh because in the beginning, I used to say Jeff Rice, like as one word, like Jeff Rice, as opposed to Jeff Rice. So, he's just one of those. Marcus is funny. He says different accounts. Oh, cheeky devil, eh? Yes. He uses a temp controller. Don't judge Lou. I'm past that, man. I don't yuck someone else's yum, man. Like for real. People are like, "Oh, you use propane. Oh, you use pellets. That you might as well be wearing a man bun." Ain't no man bun here. I'm secure enough in my manhood to be able to cook with pellets and not bat an eye, because I paid my dues, and I know that sleep is a commodity, man. And yeah, exactly. Crimson Crease says, "What in the world?" Mike says, "I've only cooked once in the cold. I just kept adding wood." That is definitely a downside to cooking in the cold. You use a lot more fuel than you think you would, because you are not only using the fuel to keep the temperature up or to cook your food, you're using the fuel to keep the temperature up and around in your cooker because there's so much heat loss, just so much like heat being wicked away from your cooker that yeah. Yeah, Lou. No man bun here. Beard buns, yes indeed. Almost long enough. Look, I actually got it trimmed not too long ago, which is why it's shorter. But it is like I can see it from that's how I know I have a big beard. When I can look down and I can see it without having to do much manipulation. And if you see is not straight, and I haven't straightened my beard in probably a week or two. Just been letting it rest. But if I pulled it and straightened it out, you know, it's longer. But like it would be a it would be what they call a struggle tail. To here we go. That's about it. But yeah, it would be a struggle tail. Beard buns. Yes. Da, 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 da. All right, so Taylor says before the IVS, which is the insulated vertical smoker, it was all about finding the windbreaks. Moving a smoker around a corner could mean the difference between wild and steady temps. So Laura, that not that that's for you, but that's something that you should take heed. I know you said you have a carport, so that's something that you can think of. And or I told you earlier about making a windbreak. Between the wild and steady temps also peak less than normal. So don't look in there is what he's saying. Um, yeah. Going for the ZZ Top look. So unfortunately, this is almost like terminal length. My beard does not get very much longer than this. Yes, indeed. My balcony sucks. Oh, free briskets now. DJ Tino says, just gonna keep logs in the fire. Yeah, but you know what? I'm telling you, there comes a time when you won't have enough logs to cook if you start throwing more logs than you have. Um, if you start throwing more logs than you have, or like the cook goes through more logs than you have, I have been there where I'm like trying to keep the my fuel consumption down because I don't have that many logs to spare. When I have a fresh cord, I'm throwing every bit of log in there. I'm like letting it burn hotter, and I'm like, oh, let me throw a couple logs in there to burn off to clean it out. And man, when I'm down on wood, I am rationing every single split. Huh. A lot more gray in the beard yes, indeed, Victor. It's definitely more gray in the beard. Definitely more gray in the beard. That's all I'm gonna say about that. If I could get a Blackstone in a smoker, yeah, Laura, that's what's up. You have to, and this is everybody's situation is different. So where you live is going to dictate what you can or cannot have. I remember when I lived in an apartment, there was like you cannot have a grill or a smoker out on this balcony at all. So it's like, okay, well, how could I get around that? It's like, all right, well, we had a Foreman grill at the time, indoor Foreman grill, not like the one that stood up by itself, but just a tabletop one. And this was, of course, this is way back when my wife and I want to say first got together, but a while ago, all right, and it was just the two of us. But now that I live in a house that we own, we have the ability to have obviously you see the grills and smokers I have around my house, but there are lots of folks that live in apartments or townhouses that can't have certain types of cookers on their property. Crimson Creek Market says temperature fluctuations is a major concern. Wind is a killer. In the cold, I can compensate for charcoal versus wood at that point. Yes. So one of the things I found, and this is again one of those things that's like, what? You have this wood burning smoker right here using charcoal? Yes. You know why? Because the charcoal is more consistent, and I can way more easily regulate the temperature with charcoal than I can with wood. Why would I make it harder for myself? You're like, cause you're not throwing splits. I throw splits like 9 to 10 months out of the year. If I need to use charcoal 2 months out of the year because it's cold where I am, you're going to tell me I'm less of a man for that? Come on, son. Like some of these folks that get all up in arms about how you cook on your cooker, that is beyond me. Like, what gives you the right to tell me what type of fuel I can use on my cooker? It's like, sit down. Just sit down and shut up. Um, Yeah, Dingle says the older I get, the more precious wood is. The more precious wood is to me. But Dingle, I'm telling you, man, it's one of those things where Dingle, where do you live? I guess where do you live is a good one. God, what delivery before the storm? Got a nice price on it. That's what's up. Marcus says charcoal is cheaper. I've been saying that for years, especially if you get it on sale. Never Broke says, "What's up, Dash? What's new for 2021? Any new barbecue videos? Love the content." So I've been taking a break, man. I'm just kind of taking a bit of a mental break. I have, yeah, just a mental break, man. It's just I got some things going on, and I need some time. I want to focus on putting out the best content I can, and I don't want to seem fake on video. I want to be genuine. I want to be happy, and I won't say I'm not in a good place right now, but I don't want to cook on video right now. I don't know how else to explain it. It's just one of those things where um, I can't put it in words, but I want I want to put out the best videos I can, and I think I have turned the corner on cooking videos. So I might not be putting out as far as nearly as many cooking videos, but I want to talk. I want to like start and talk about and focus more on the catering aspect. Just in case you haven't noticed, a lot of these or the live streams since the beginning of the year, we've been talking almost all about a piece or parts of catering for the lives because there's a lot of you guys who are doing catering and don't even realize it. So when you're cooking for your friends, when you're cooking for for family, and you're taking food to somebody else's house, and you're like, oh, I'm just taking food over, blah blah blah. That's catering, and give yourself credit for that. So one great beard for every laugh. Yeah, the process of taking an apple orchard to talking to an apple orchard. That's what's up, Mike. Oak and birch work wonders in the cold. Well, oak, because it's such a say fibrous, well, such a hard wood. It definitely burns lower and slower than a lot of other things. Moose is down to doing the cooking videos. Yeah. Never smoked with birch either. I don't know. I would imagine that it probably would give off some scents like a birch beer. It's got a unique. You're drinking birch beer when you're drinking birch beer. The soda, not actually a libation. Yeah, just don't use pine or fir wood. Not really for smoking, just for long-lasting heat. Can you see this? Yes, I can, Laura. I saw it. Victor says, don't worry, I guess, about my beard. You have a long way to go to catch up with me. Yeah. Birch trees on my property. You deserve a break. You work hard, bud. Well, thanks, Taylor. I appreciate that. Birch bark is good as a good fire starter. All right. If you ever win a lottery, I will be looking for land for hunting back home to secure here. Yes. Quality over quantity, Marcus says. Like to see Dash do the splits. Huh. I actually have been contemplating buying a log splitter. because my guy, you guys remember Bob, right? I've showed Bob in a couple different videos. Bob is pretty much, he's retired. And his son Jimmy, though I believe Jimmy is still cutting down trees, Jimmy pretty much hates the tree business. I feel like anytime I've talked to Jimmy, he I feel like he hates the tree business. With that being said, Jimmy does not have the same. I don't know. He's it's not the same as dealing with Bob. So Bob, I call Bob up. Bobby, I need a cord of wood. He's like, all right. I'll be down. He's like, I'll be down your house like tomorrow or the next day. Okay, Bob. I'm just let me know when you get to the top of the driveway so I can move any vehicles if I need to. He's like, all right. Bob comes and he pulls down the driveway, turns his truck around, and he lifts up the dump bed in his pickup truck, and all right, there you go. And he's like, pay me. Thanks, Bob. And then I hit Bob up within the last year or so. I'm like, hey, Bob, I need some wood. I don't have anything cut up right now. He said, do you have any wood at your house? I'm like, yeah, I have some. He said, why don't you go down and pick up the log splitter? Or he said, better yet, I'll bring it to you. All right, Bob, no problem. So he'll bring a log splitter, his log splitter to me, and I'll use it, and then I'll just take it back down there to him. And I'm like, all right. But you know how you deal with one person and not the other person? And the stuff that you say and do around this person is different than what's said and done around the other person. I don't think his son is willing to do the same bartering. Because the log splitter that they have and are using, I fixed it. I welded it a few years ago and got it running again because it wasn't working. And I'm like, you know what? There's only so many times I want to be borrowing this log splitter before I need to get my own. Have you heard? No, I have not heard anything from Grumpus. Marcus says I need a chainsaw. I have a couple chainsaws. I have a battery operated one and a gas one, but my gas one is just a little underpowered. I need to spend the money and buy a better or a more decent chainsaw because I could use that. I've found like wood around, and I'll just be tooling around, driving around, and sometimes some of the wood is left in 5 to 6 foot or 5 to 8 foot sections of trunk, and I just need to split them up into about 18-inch sections. And if I split them up into 18-inch like rounds, it'll be much easier to handle than trying to pick up a 5 to 8 foot section of a tree. Yeah, Laura, I need a log splitter. Like I said, a log splitter. Yes, indeed, Marcus. He says so many down trees in this area now. People just want it gone. So I'll tell you what, Marcus, which is crazy. Last year or 2 years ago, we had a snowstorm come through, and the snowstorm was big enough that same thing. And usually when there are thunderstorms, windstorms, snowstorms, trees go down, right? Same deal. The trees get down and people cut up the trees and they're like, hey, come get this wood and you can have it, right? The tree was down, blah, blah, blah. I was looking for firewood not too long ago, and I found someone that lived on an orchard, and they had all of these trees that got knocked down. And what they did was they went out and bought a chainsaw and a log splitter, and they started selling the firewood because they're like, well, we can't make any more money off of the trees because they're down and they're not going to bear fruit. Let's make money off of the wood from the trees, and that's what they were doing. They were selling wood like crazy, selling wood, and this farm or orchard is not that far away from my house where within a half an hour drive. And I'm like, I don't need the wood that bad. I want someone to bring some wood to me. So yeah, my favorite thing is a chainsaw sharpener kit. I need to see, this is one of the things I need to get, Jimmy, is a sharpener, because I have an electric DeWalt saw. And it is great. A battery operated, actually, 20 volt, 20 volt DeWalt stuff. So it works really well when the blades are sharp. And I've dulled the blades, like cutting stuff up around the house within the last year or two that I've had that saw. So I need to get a sharpening kit. Uncle B, what's going on, Uncle Bull? Is it tardy to the party? But what up, Dash? Nothing much, man. Glad to see you here. Glad you can make it. Jason says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars. Well, thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. I have my chainsaw now. I need my wood splitter. Yes, I used one before. You should have seen their faces, Jimmy, when I cranked it up. Yes, indeed. Folks were at Home Depot cutting up 2x4s for firewood. Jeez, you know how much that costs? Goodness gracious, are you serious, Marcus? Cutting up 2x4s for firewood, man. Freaking 2x4s are what? $5, $6, $7 for for a 2x4x8. Mm-mm. I ain't got that kind of money. So long as it isn't pre-treated, yes indeed. But then again, 2x4s are pine, aren't they? Like white pine? Hell, man. Just look. I mean, I get, desperate times call for desperate measures, but I wouldn't be able to afford that. Husqvarna file kit, super easy to use. I want to get a nice still nice steel gas saw. Oh, man. I mean, you got to be careful cooking with pine, or using the habit fire with pine. Good resources. Cooking with. What's a good resource for identifying the different cooking wood species? The internet. Lots of pictures and ask people, because what happens is if you ask and you see the same types of wood, you'll probably learn what is prevalent in your area. And one of the things that I think is a misconception, you need to see the bark of the wood. The bark will tell you 50% faster or easier what the wood is than the internal fibers of the wood, because once you split it open and take the bark off, and especially if it sits and dries or it ages, or they look similar. Not very many woods have different hues. I know that it was either mulberry or locust has a yellow hue. Like cherry oak has like a reddish pinkish hue. White oak is really bright. But like other than that, like I couldn't tell you the difference between apple and maple, or apple and cherry wood. Though the cherry does have a slight pinkish hue. It's one of those things that over time you just kind of like figure out what's what. Um, Webcam CEO, how you doing? When you get a new chainsaw, get another 1 or 2 chains. So you always have a sharp chain. Yes, indeed, Victor. I agree. I have a gas chainsaw and I have 2 chains for it, but it's just like it's just low in compression. I guess it just was like a hairy homeowner saw as opposed to like an industrial saw. For the power, price, and warranty, I like the Tractor Supply Jonesard by Husqvarna. People selling propane cylinders for $200 on Craigslist. Holy cow, man! Freaking opportunists. Gosh. All this talk about wood is making me think twice about the offset I passed in the store. Yeah, well, I mean, it's one of those things, Taylor. And so I was telling you guys earlier about me talking to my coworker about a wood burning stove. So he was like, "Oh, I can get a wood burning insert for my fireplace or a pellet." And I said, "I tell you, I'd highly recommend a pellet insert." I said the pellets are easy to come by, they're less expensive, and they're less hassle because they come in bags and you just buy a bag and boom, you get scoops and pellets, blah blah blah. I said, if you get real wood, I'm like, you gotta get the real wood. And he was like, I'm like, you have to talk with a tree service, or you have to. I'm like, you gotta buy wood from a tree service, and then they come and they deliver it, or you have to go and get it, and then you gotta move it yourself. And I'm like, I'm telling you, pellets. I'm like, from me who's cook on a wood burning cooker, pellet cooker, propane cooker, charcoal cooker. I'm like, out of all of them, the easiest thing I've ever cooked with is gonna be the pellets. They're drop that simple. Actually, easiest thing is gonna be propane, but I mean, Propane doesn't give you any flavor really. So the easiest thing to cook on with some flavor is going to be pellets, and then from that it's going to be charcoal, and then from that it's going to be the wood burning. And the wood burning and charcoal, depending on your cooker, probably be kind of interchangeable as far as ease of cooking. Darnell Suspect Catering. If you are looking for a Cambro food carrier, look at eBay. The prices are good. So Darnell, yes, indeed, you're absolutely correct about looking at eBay for Cambro stuff. But I'm gonna tell you, sometimes it's better to buy new than it is used. Like some people are not going to take care of their equipment as well as you would. So I'm glad that I was able to buy new equipment. Now the Cambros that I have are older, and do they hold heat? Yes. Are they the best right now? No. So what I could do is I could say, okay, these Cambros are like 5 or 6 years old. Yes, but they've only been used X number of times a year. And I can probably honestly say they've been used average 10 times a year. The only time, like usually, out of the three Cambros that I have, the one I use the most is the black Cambro, the smaller one that I have. And that one is the most maneuverable. But there are times when I have to use one of the bigger blue Cambros that I have. And if you guys are not aware, I can let's use my, let's go back across my channel, CAMMBRO. Cambros. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to post this video into the chat, and you guys can check this out later. And there's some links in the description of that video and all of the videos that talk about the Cambros. But I'm going to give you, you'll be able to see the Cambros that I'm using or talking about in this video. So the black one is a smaller Cambro, and that Cambro will fit 4 full-size catering pans or 6, or actually 12 half-size catering pans max. The blue Cambros will fit 6 full-size Cambros, and I really don't think I can't remember how many half pans it will fit, but it's a lot of half pans. And then obviously combinations of the both. Yeah. Victor says, and yes, still is the way to go. He says he absolutely loves his. What's up, Steven? How you doing? Laura says, was thinking of warm fryer with s'mores. Oh man, Steven, good to see you, brother. Thank you for joining us. This is Car Repair Shop. Just I got the Traeger. Dingle says I got the Traeger Pro 22. Wait, I have a Traeger Pro 22. Yes, I do, Dingle. I have the same one. Rich said I had a pellet insert in a house I rented a few years back. Just fill the hopper, set the set temperature, and forget about it for the night. Yes, indeed. Just shows a little behind in the video. It's all right, Rich. No worries. As long as your pellets are topped off, indeed. Y'all smash that thumbs up for Dash. He can tell you how much it helps. It does. It really does. It makes me feel better about doing these videos. It really does help these videos in particular, and it helps my channel. So all of the above, YouTube really does. It's crazy that you have to do something like this, and YouTube puts so much stock into it, but it really is customer, but it is feedback from you guys. It's interaction, and it really, really does help. Ricky says, I have lots of almond wood. What's your thoughts on using almond? I've never used almond because almond isn't as prevalent in my area. But I mean, there are plenty of there are like, if you go out to the website smoked meat forums, or like, I'm telling you, there are I feel like they're full on dissertations on each specific type of wood and the ability to smoke food with it. I'm telling you, there's so much information out there that you can't get bored. You probably end up falling asleep before you get through it. First love. He says, "Hey, old Dash, how you doing? What's going on?" Uh, Mubu says I've used almond before. It's not bad for sausage. Webcam says I'm doing wonderful. I'm going to make a video of me doing a homemade tandoori chicken mukbang, but I will never put my recipe on video. Understand, man. Trust me. People ask me all the time, "Oh man, where's Kirk at?" Look, he about to ask me what's in the lamb. Where's John? John Grinnell. He's always asking me what I season my chicken with. And that's my hands, man. These right there. That's what it is. Marcus says, have you ever used pecan shells for a cook? I bought a 40-pound bag to try, and it was actually a little overpowering. Really? Ha! Never, Marcus. I have not. But I do have some walnut shells, like for media blasting. I mean, I could probably take a handful and sprinkle some in there, but I doubt that I would actually ever do that. But no, I've never even thought about using shells, just because it's not prevalent. It's not one of those things that I can get readily. You guys that live down south, man, you don't know how great you have it with certain things. Victor says a great thing about a pellet heater for the house is they are very easy and not expensive to put in a home, plus bag convenience for using. Yes, indeed. Beer battered fish and fries this weekend for my wife's birthday. That's what's up. Pinch of yeah. That's what's up, first love. Beer battered fish. I wouldn't mind some. Yeah, man. So I was kind of expecting my wife to, and I think it's just a matter that she doesn't know that Lent is upon us. But last year for Lent we went pescatarian. The whole house went pescatarian. So I'm not sure if she really knows that today is Ash Wednesday. So yeah. What's up, Justin? Justin from Papa Bear's Kitchen. He says, "Hey, yo, Dash. How's it going, Justin?" Victor says, "I gotta get to bed. If Grumpus checks in, tell him hello, everyone. Stay safe. Good night." Yes, indeed. I sure will, Victor. It is just one of those things, man. You know, sometimes you get caught with your pants down, and that seems like what happened in Texas and a lot down in the South, and obviously it's dominating the news right now, and for good reason. I mean, but you know what? So one of the things, Marcus, I'll tell you this. Marcus was saying, so obviously with people who have power outages and things like that, generators, you know, nobody can probably find a generator, and folks who have generators are probably selling generators for 2 or 3 times what they were paid for. And there are people who are willing to pay it because they have to, because they're trying to survive and do what needs to be done for their families. Same thing happens up here. When we get a big snowstorm and there's power out for multiple days, folks, man, unscrupulous word, scrupulous. All scruples are gone. Justin says everything's cool. Getting ready for a big weekend. 17 slabs of ribs, 6 chicken, and 16 pounds of rib tips. So that's what's up. Congratulations. Dave says, "I'm living in Cooper, Texas. I love using pecan." All right. Steven says, "That don't say that. My wife will have me cooking fish for the next 40 days. I already know, Steven. I already know. I'm telling you, man. That's how my wife did last year. Oh, excuse me. We were pescatarian for Lent. Man, I don't know how y'all do cold weather. It's like 60 degrees here, and I'm freezing. Man, 60 degrees is nothing. I remember the Baltimore blackout. I lost so much deer and fish power off of it. It was 3 weeks. Sucked so bad. Kirk, man, that was after a hurricane. I lost power at my house for 5 days. And what ended up happening was we lost power like that Sunday or Monday. And we lost power, whatever. We didn't have power after the hurricane. And I took my family up to my sister-in-law's house. My sister-in-law lives in Smyrna. And I'm like, all right, well, Monday kind of dealt with it, spent the night up there, came back here. I was here on Tuesday. And I don't think I had to work. Like, I think it was the whole thing was I was in between jobs. One program ended and I was going to be starting a new job. So I'm like, you know what? I'm taking a week off. I'm like, my start date is going to be a week after my end date from the last program. And like the first vacation I took in years, it was spent in the house in the heat because of the freaking hurricane, and I had no power. So I lost all food in the house for the most part. Obviously, thank goodness we still had water. And the hot water was still running because we have a gas hot water heater. But like my wife would call the house, and if we had two different voicemails, like we had an answer machine, and we had like one of those like system generated voicemails. And if the system generated voicemail picked up, she knew the power wasn't back on. And she kept calling the house, calling the house, calling the house, and to see, obviously the phone wasn't ringing in the house, but and then she would call my cell phone, and I talked to her for a little bit, and like to the point where I had a power inverter in our minivan running to an extension cord down the driveway, and I had a ceiling fan, or not a ceiling fan, a like a pedestal fan, and my laptop. That was about it. And I think I was using, I guess I was using my phone to tether to get out to the internet. So, and that was what I was doing like all day long, just sitting in the house under a fan on the internet. And I did that for 3 or 4 days. And I think after the fourth day, like Thursday, I was like, all right, it's too damn hot in the house. I was like, I can't take it anymore. So I went up to my sister-in-law's house on like that Thursday evening, and then we called on Friday and we had power back, and we drove back home, and it was like, yes, it sucked. It definitely sucked. Like I ran the inverter to run the fan and the laptop, and then every couple of hours I would go out to the van and start it up to make sure that it was I wasn't draining, killing the battery running the inverter. But that was well before I had any sort of generator or anything like that. $400 generator from Sam 6 months ago. It runs on gas and propane, easy start, and has helped us and our neighbors through this polar vortex. Yes, indeed. We do pretty decent for power supply up here in the winter, but I've got a small generator enough to power the fridge and freezer. Yes, indeed, Rich. Definitely. Rich says I don't know how to cook, but I need my food. I don't blame you, Rich, man. Definitely. Look at the video when I was IHOP. You will laugh. Let's see here. Webcam CEO. Let's try to find T YouTube. Webcam CEO.
strawberry pancakes here. And then he bring no sausage, and I told him to bring the sausage too.
Specifically told him ultimate bacon and sausage combo.
We're gonna ask for the manager on that one.
She don't look very happy. I specifically told
We're gonna
him.
let her take the order this time.
Uh-oh.
Just make this shit back and then give me my right shit.
This is the video I'm looking at.
It's crazy, man. This guy thinks it's a joke, man. Got the little manager yelling at him.
First light. So
Pancakes, my side of ham.
This is not good.
you know it's a problem. You like, look, I'm gonna let her handle it this time. Family came over and stayed with me and my parents. I had a generator for fans, a fridge. I had to stay work through the tons of calls and that hot water, but it was it was so hot. Yep.
For this one, you gave me the ultimate bacon.
Cup has been glued to the table tonight. I don't know. I've been drinking.
Sausage and I'm missing pancakes. I'm missing ham and I'm missing pancakes. And my sausage missing.
I didn't order ham.
Only thing,
Was this yours? Did you order ham?
you gotta turn your camera the other way, man. You got it vertically. Turn it sideways.
Maybe you had sausage.
See, I'd have been mad because let that ham come on the same plate with my turkey sausage or my turkey bacon. Ooh.
We got our food here. So.
This is bull.
You guys want to take a...
I'm missing ham.
Oh no, man! You can't cut your pancake like that, man. I'm a symmetrical pancake cutter. Like I gotta cut my pancake down the middle, and then in quarters, and then in eighths. Like, yeah.
This is crazy.
He just like cut the edge off. What? Oh, that's wrong. That's wrong.
Pancakes good, y'all. Kind of dry, but...
How you gonna say it's good and then say it's dry? Which one is it? Which one is it?
How it tastes?
It's alright. Webcam, where are you, man?
Pancakes okay, but a little dry.
Oh, so they went from good to okay.
Honestly, they taste like they came out of the box or something.
You know they make their pancakes from a mix. Look.
Eating at people's brains, man. People got like a Joe Biden brain in here or something, man. It's crazy. I don't know. People have just lost it.
So one of the things, I don't know if you can hear it, but I don't watch videos at normal speed. I always speed the videos up. That is one of the ways in which I get through videos faster is Control Shift T. South suburbs of Chicago. All right. All right. Goodness gracious, it's been almost 2 hours that we've been talking, guys. Oh man. Does anybody have any cooks coming up? Like this weekend, this past weekend, I cooked probably the biggest brisket I've cooked in a very, very long time. It was a like 18.5-pound brisket. Marcus says cooking in the cold just sucks. Agreed. But I tell you, one of the things that really does help is insulated smokers. I cooked it was an 18.5-pound brisket and 3 racks of ribs on Saturday night into Sunday morning. Actually, it was early Sunday morning. I got up at 2 o'clock in the morning, started cooking. Uh-oh. Almost 2 hours in. That's the first one. And man, this brisket, it was a big brisket. Ended up yielding. I had a 3-pound order, a 3-pound order, and a 4-pound order. So 3, 7. It was 10 pounds of brisket, just about, that I had. And man, every bit of that 10 pounds brisket was accounted for. Moo says, I guess the cold doesn't bother me. He says, so long as there's no wind chills. So that's the problem. When it's cold, a lot of times, or more often than not, it's like bone chilling cold because it's windy. Like the wind just makes it unbearable. Like it makes it that much worse. But, one of the advantages that I have is that I am inside of my garages. And being inside of the garages, it helps because, especially if it's windy, if the wind is not blowing in a certain direction, usually the two directions are, if it's blowing directly like at that window and it blows through the chimney, or if it's blowing in the same direction as the garage door is open. Those are usually the two times where I have the hardest time. If the wind is blowing in any other direction, it really doesn't matter. So probably 50-60% of the time, it doesn't matter. But, every now and again, I'll get a gust of wind that'll blow in one of those other directions, and I'll get a gust of wind that'll blow in, and it'll blow leaves all inside of the garage, or I'll get a gust of wind and it'll blow through the chimney, and like I can see a little bit of a puff or a fireball that blows out of the intake for the yeah. So Marcus, obviously this past weekend was Valentine's Day on Sunday, and I know Marcus had some tomahawk steaks that were pre-ordered, and I saw that from his Instagram. If you're not following Crimson Creek, you really should follow Crimson Creek on Instagram. It's CRIMSON Creek, CREEK, and on Instagram. Follow them. Marcus and Jamie, they're definitely doing some things right there in Dripping Springs, Austin, Texas. But he had some tomahawks that, of course, were prepaid and ordered, and folks were like, we'll wait till next weekend. So he's got some more to cook this weekend because obviously the snow and ice that they had. He was able to resell them in his neighborhood. My man was delivering the tomahawks that he sold via a side-by-side in his neighborhood. I think that's just dope. Though I heard he had on like 5 different layers of camo because it was so cold. I called him a pansy. That's not what I called him, but I said he was a pansy for having on that many clothes. Grumpus! Where's Grumpus? There he is. Grumpus, you missed Victor. Victor was worried about you. He told us to tell you. He said hello. And he told us that you were having some issues with the cold there at your house. So I hope all is well with you, sir. Hopefully you have on like 2 layers of flannel. Maybe even 3. Rich says I gotta get some rest. Snow coming in the morning. Hopefully up early to push some snow. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Yes, indeed, Rich, you do the same. I cannot guarantee I'll be up early in the morning, but I will, I'll catch you when I can catch you while you're plowing snow. Cooked that low country boil in a 100-quart pot last weekend in the rain. It was fun. Yeah. Didn't think they would be cooking otherwise due to the water problem. Jamie said it was a straight steak Ponzi scheme. Yeah. Crimson Creek Barbecue is the handle. Thank you, Jamie. Look at Steven coming in clutch as usual with the Instagram link. So you don't even have to do the work. Just click the link and click follow. You don't even have to tell him that I sent you or you're here from this because Jamie is so on it. that, yeah. Stay tuned for the other videos. Upload now. All right, well, no worries. You should have got notification. I think I clicked the subscribe button unless I missed it or something. But I'm all about shenanigans. Yeah, definitely. Oh goodness. Yes, thanks, Steven. Thank you for sure. If you're not following Steven, post your Instagram, please and thank you. I mean, actually, why not just post your Instagram down below? You have Instagram, post your Instagram down below, and we should, we should all follow each other. We're all family here. And I guess while we're at it, we are 2 hours in. 2 hours. If you haven't already hit that thumbs up button for me, I would greatly appreciate it if you could. Hey, Jamie, is Marcus still cheating at Domino's? I feel like I need to clean my knife. You can see the glue residue. There you go. Lots of glue residue. I open up lots of boxes with this knife. Thank you, Jimmy. And there's another one. Jimmy, post your Instagram down below. YouTubers, Tim and welcome party. When I move to Florida, private invite only. Lots of barbecue there. That's what's up. Well, hopefully it'll be, after things die down. But that definitely is what's up. Said a private YouTube party. What? Party. Laura's back. Yay. Steven says, welcome back. I think just 2. Grumpus, how are things at your house, sir? Oh. I feel like I need more candy right now. Starting to feel like I'm hitting a wall. Actually, we will drink some more. I think there's a little bit. Yep. Just a touch. Energy drink. Just a sip. Not that it's really helping right now. I'm gonna sit back. I'll be asleep if y'all don't keep talking. Y'all better keep me awake. Kissimmee or West Palm? All right. I've been to Kissimmee. Don't think I've been to West Palm. Okay, can you post or tell the name of the video with the beard conditioner? My beard conditioner? The one that I use? Troy Jones is just checking in. Hope all of the Eastern, the Midwestern, and Southern barbecue fam are surviving this Arctic blast. I can tell you that we sure are in the Baltimore area, though I would worry more about those down south who are very ill prepared. Travis has just arrived, cooked on my Weber Smoky Mountain Monday with -2 degrees Fahrenheit and -21 wind chill. No wind block. It held 250 degrees like a champ. That's what's up. Marcus's my stuff is getting out of control. Marcus's Dash is doing it again. Wow. Shh. Very out of control. Oh, man. Marcus, man, just, let's see. Video details. Weird. Artist, man. So if you do a search, here we go. Let's go here. Introduction. hardiest, man. That was I believe the first week of all of the oils. And yeah. Oh, that one, the one that I made. All right. Beard balm. Beard. All right. Da, 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 da. This is that video. Paste. So that's the one where we made the beard balm. It was like all you need to make beard balm at home. And just like Jimmy said, if you haven't already, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button for me. I'd greatly appreciate it. Travis, you're not slightly insane. You know, where there's a grill, there's a way. All right? No worries, Marcus. I'll say I have some. I gotta figure out how I can get it to you. Friggin' postal service is really slow. But I don't know, man. I barbecue will do that to you. I agree, Troy. I agree. So Marcus, I know for sure I have some, but it's unscented, and it just smells like the oils. Marcus or Laura says I was still the Smarties. Travis, man, I've been saying that for quite some time. So if you say it, if you repeat it, then give me credit. Where there's a grill, there's a way. All right. I have been saying it for quite some time. But Marcus, I tell you what, Marcus, I like lemongrass and citrus and peppermint in my my beard balm. Lemongrass is one of the ones that I use a lot of in my beard balm. But I mean, if you want me to scent it, I can scent it and then I'll send it. Oh, thanks, Travis. He says I owe all to you. No, man. Grumpus says, "Hey Dash, hey Dash," and everybody. I can hear Grumpus saying that. Oh man, like I said, I hope Grumpus that you're doing well. I don't know if you heard me when I said or was asking how you were. Glad that you were able to join us tonight for sure. I know you have a lot going on. No comment, Marcus. I already know how that goes. Beard balm. BALM balm. Powers go. Oh man. Should put that on a t-shirt. Alright. I'm kind of jaded when it comes to t-shirts. I really want. Oh, you know what? Speaking of t-shirts, I got a t-shirt today. And does anybody know who or what this is, or who that is? Jamie said, "I heard what I heard." Ah, beard balm. Balm. Man, this is a nice shirt. So again, I'm gonna ask you guys: does anybody know who or what bunker branding is? Grumpus, internet being kind of spotty. Shoot, I can imagine, Grumpus. Not ammo. Close. He's one of the biggest pew pew channels on YouTube for sure. He's got almost 10 million subscribers on his main channel. No. Cafe Press. No. So I've been watching lots and lots. Yes, indeed. Jimmy knows, like, definitely. So I've been watching a lot of this guy's channel recently. I don't know how or why YouTube just started sending me or showing me this guy's channel, but I purchased one of these shirts, and I don't know if you can see it. It says Demolition, and it says Ranch, but the fold, there you go, Demolition Ranch. So this is a Demolition Ranch shirt, and this is the first Demolition Ranch shirt that I bought. But you know, I like to put my money where my mouth is, and I support YouTubers because I'm a YouTuber, and I know that, you know, I like support. So yes. Marcus, I'm sorry to hear that. He's just waiting for the rolling power shut off any minute. Oh, Travis's great channel. So I want to say I really recently, within the last week or so, have done a deep dive on the Off the Ranch channel and learned a lot about Matt and his family. And I watched all of the Abandoned Mansion videos, episodes, to get caught up on that. And then I was like, all right, well, watching Off the Ranch stuff again, you know, I saw Matt lost his brother, and I was like, oh man, you know, it's like heart-wrenching. And it's funny because, you know, folks talk about cross-pollination. It's like, oh, you know, this channel and this channel, they get together, and then you're like, oh wait, who's that person? Who's that person? And then it worked for me, and that's how from Cletus I found Demolition Ranch. Like, and when Demolition Ranch, when Matt from Demolition Ranch was in the Freedom 500, I'm like, man, who is this guy? Oh, they, you know, I didn't think much of it, but when Cletus was out there and he took Matt this engine for his El Cromino, right? I was like, all right, let me look into this guy, and I looked into him. And I'm like, oh, I've seen a couple videos from this guy, but never subscribed to his channel, never was in that deep. And I'm watching videos, and one of my coworkers comes into my office, and she looks over my shoulder, and she's like, oh, that's Dr. Matt. And I'm like, Dr. Matt? What the hell are you talking about? This dude blows stuff up on the internet. She says, yeah, but he's a veterinarian. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? She's like, look at his other channels. He does pew pew stuff. What are you talking about? And she's like, nah. Check it out. So I'm looking at other channels, and he has Demolition Ranch, Off the Ranch, and Veterinarian or Vet Ranch. And I'm like, what? Hold up. And then I run down a rabbit hole of looking at Vet Ranch videos, and I'm like, mind blown. This dude has 3 million subscribers on the, like 2.5 million subscribers on the Vet channel, like 4 million subscribers on the Off the Ranch channel and 10 million subscribers damn near on the Demolition Ranch channel. My man has 3 YouTube channels with with an average of like 5 million subscribers each. Yo, that's crazy. I think you did, Laura. You did send me some stuff. I make a lot of stuff myself in the house, so I don't purchase. And the Artist Man stuff, they sent that to me. Travis, man, I'm down to shoot like a quarter. Actually, I'm not even gonna lie. I really just want to shoot the Barrett because that's the one that I probably will never have access to. So that's the one I really want to shoot. Um, no, Laura, it starts with a D, Demolition Ranch. I like the girl shooting freedom sticks. Yeah, definitely. I had to spit chipmunks because you just right now. Yeah, Travis, definitely understand. But he still every now and again talks about how, yeah. Marcus says, nope, nope, nope. You think you want to shoot it? Nah, I do. Just to say I did, man. Same thing with the Desert Eagle. My one buddy, he's like, oh, the Deagle? The hell's a Deagle? He's like, oh, the Desert Eagle, the Deagle. Like, who the hell calls the Desert Eagle a Deagle? Yeah. Start from the top, go from the cannon. Like, I like it, not afraid. Hmm. If you have feelings, they will come loose. Well, guess what? Well, Mubu, fortunately for me, I won't say I've been stocking up, but unfortunately, like all of the ones that I've taken care of procuring, I lost in a boating accident. So sad, which is why I might need to go to Texas and use someone else's. Look, Marcus, don't put it past me to like straight write a letter or ask someone to be like, listen, hey, I'm a big fan, a recent fan. I just discovered your channel, but I know someone who lives down in that area that would love to come and hang out and throw some freedom pellets along with me. And he lives not too far away from you. Um, and can I come? Because, yeah, we can cook for you. You can demonstrate the freedom sticks, basically. I mean, maybe if my channel gets a little bit bigger. Mubu says, I was going to hunt moose this year. Wow. Using the same line for the last 30 years. Yeah. It's going to be a tough sell for the removal. So we just have to stand our ground, if you will. Those in the Second Amendment community. I need some ice. Yeah, I can imagine. Really? Like, now, did you eat the moose or did you just hunt? Really, Jimmy? They have one at the range that you can borrow. I haven't done it yet. But there was a dude in there 1 or 2 times ago, and the firewall at the front of that thing was crazy, crazy. uh, I was like, wow. Grizzly is my favorite. Really? What does bear taste like? Oh, that's Hitchcock. They come straight back at you. Frozen though. That's good. What's the smoke eating burp? Yeah, Hitchcock 45, Laura. That's one of the guy you're talking about. Yeah, not done. Wow. Yeah, cause Troy says no hand stick should be 50 cal. Look. I'm learning. I am definitely learning. I'm a recent into. I mean, like I've gotten way more into it in the last like 2.5, 3 years. Very tender and heavy, really heavy. So it's dense. I don't want to say is it lean, but bears can be pretty fatty, so maybe not. But you never know. And Marcus, with the meat being frozen, that's probably a good thing because of the fact that it's so cold. It'll keep longer before you harvest it. Laura has never tried them. Me neither, Laura. Me neither. Cause you know what, Jimmy? It's like they say, like 80 decibels versus 90 decibels. Like 80 decibels is loud, but 90 decibels is like twice as loud. I think the punch and the power is kind of like exponential, Jimmy. Yeah. But that's interesting. No hand stick should be 50 cal. I think that's the quote of the evening. Marcus is not a fan of the 50. What about the judge? Would like to shoot one of those with the 410 shells. Yeah, I just there's so much to learn. For me, there's so much to learn about different calibers. So I have a lot to learn. Darnell, no. So it's the winter. And school is on. So technically and actually taste tester number 1 was in the kitchen cooking earlier, but you got to remember it's 9 o'clock. So 9 o'clock he was in and out of the kitchen by like 9:30 or so, but he was cooking in the kitchen. Taste tester number 2 was who used to be up in the kitchen cooking, like making pancakes or up late at night. Because what would happen is he had to get off of the game, off the PlayStation at 10 o'clock, and then he would come up here and be in the kitchen from 10 o'clock to like 11 o'clock cooking, because that's when he, would stop to eat, was when he had to get off the game. He would go almost eating all day long, almost without eating all day long, until 10 o'clock rolled around. Then that's when he needed to eat. Just that he's long will give me a heart attack, especially if it was coming at me. Hell yeah, man. First taste like beef, but stringy as it pulls apart. Interesting, Laura. Thank you for that insight. 338 does the job very well. Like I said, I have a lot to learn when it comes to different chambers and calibers. 6-meter miss still rings the target. Jeez. Yeah. Is on the season for bear. The best is in the fall. They eat the berries, so it's moist with sweetness, and depending on the age, can be fatty but juicy. Interesting, Mo. Boo, rather. Sorry. Say stringy, but people have different opinions. I guess he's saying wouldn't say stringy, but people have different opinions. It could have been, Laura, it might also have been the method that you cooked it or the way that you sliced it. Sometimes that could have an effect on it too. Red fat off. Yeah, for fall beer. Let's keep flickering. I gotta shut everything down softly while I can. No problem, Grumpus. You be easy, man. Take great care. Treasure Forever, made by Taurus. You put 5 rounds or 10 shotgun shells in it. I just wonder how a shotgun shell out of a handgun would be. I mean, it probably wouldn't be that crazy, depending on the load on the shell. If it was like a buckshot or a bird shot, I don't think it would be too bad. Maceo, what's going on? Yeah, Marcus never had bear either. This guy never had bear either. If it was spring, you need to make sure. No mama with cubs, yes. Jimmy, you have a way with words, sir. A 50 PMG will remove your earwax as it goes by. Jeez. Hey, Laura, good night to you. Or good night to Grumpus, yeah. I agree, Laura. She said it depends on how it's cooked. A lot of times with different meats, your, I won't say opinion, can be drawn up and either for or against the cut by how it's made. Definitely. Maceo chimes in. He says bear is good. All right. Maceo's a hunter, huh? Hunter and a gatherer and a fisherman and a cooker, and he does some welding too. He's just well rounded. Man, oh man. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up soon. It's 11:30. Yeah, it's 11:30. And I know a bunch of you guys are expecting or dealing with power outages and things like that. I hate it when I was a kid, then in my 30s. Yeah. Was it the same in your 30s as it was as you remember from childhood? Hey, Shanice is dropping in and say hello. Stay warm out there. It's freezing in Chicago. Yeah, look, you see, I have my hat on my head because, some of us are bald-headed, not by choice. Adam, how you doing, man? What's up, Dash? Hold on, you got a video coming out soon? Is that why you're on the YouTubes? You've been killing me, man, putting out videos at like 11 o'clock. I don't stand a chance to comment on your video first if you put out a video so late. That's what's up. So just finished a rehab on the Metal Creek cooker. I see one. I guess the other one still isn't finished. Travis says, thanks for watching your videos to help with my dream of sharing the barbecue love for a little profit. Thanks for the inspiration. No worries. What's up, James, man? James, I was looking for your number. I didn't have your number, man. I was trying to hit you up to check on you earlier today. I hit up Justin and I hit up Alton to check on my Texas brethren down there. I just wanted to make sure all was well and hopefully you were doing okay. But like I said, I didn't have your number. I know that you were in one of the group messages I was in a while back, but I didn't have a number specifically to send you a text message. But I wanted to check on you, so hopefully you are doing well. Yeah, I guess Adam says my wife says boo-hoo. Other one's still uploaded. Yeah, I figured Adam. Cousin did. It was because hubby at the time said he would never eat bear. Let's say he was pissed when I told him 2 hours later he ate 2 helpings. Still dealing with power outages, running out of water, but we're managing. All right, man. Well, just as long as you're not cold, man. That's that is the important thing. Dealing with everything else is it is what it is. But like being cold sucks. So I'm glad to hear that you're not doing as bad. What's up, Preston? How you doing this evening, man? He said, I'm here at the end, right? You love doing this to me when I'm like, all right, I'm going to say goodbye. Preston's like, yo, I'm here. What are we talking about? Let's start the conversation all over. Everyone in Chicago, don't go to the IHOP in South Holland. Man, if I'm in Chicago, I'm definitely not eating IHOP. I have IHOP here. When I travel, I'm eating in places where I cannot get when I'm in Baltimore. That's simple fact, man. There are IHOPs everywhere. But you know what? Then again, every now and again, you want that familiar comfort food, if you will. Oh, goodness. That's twice in like a minute. I think it's about time to wrap this up soon. Like I said, I made it. Come sliding in when the wife goes to bed. Oh, that's what it is, Preston. I get it. What's up, Laura? Only bears in LA are the Boga Bears. Okay. Yep, I know, Jimmy. Don't. Oh man, that's 3. Jesus. Eyes on glass door. I am beat. I am done. I run out of fuel. Dude, you know what's funny, Laura? You talk about melting some snow. This weekend, I use snow in my smoker for water. I have some gallon containers of water that I use. When it's this cold, I can't stretch the hose from the house to fill up the smokers. So what I do is I have some gallon containers and I fill them up and I take them down and put them in the refrigerator. Excuse me, I put them in the refrigerators in the garage because the refrigerators are above freezing. So they don't get cold enough to freeze the water. So like if I just left the water bottles sitting in the garage, they would split open because of course they're plastic. But I put the water bottles in the refrigerator because it's warmer than freezing. Right? So, but I used the majority of my water containers and I haven't filled them up. So I was like, well, what am I gonna do? I need to put water in the smoker, so I put I think 2 gallons of water in the smoker, and I was like, you know what? There's snow on the ground. Let me go get some snow. Sure enough, dug up some snow and put that right on into the smoker, and it works. It works just fine. Ask me how I know. Yeah, go on, Gabriel. That's oh, wow. Well, I appreciate that. Troy says Waffle House is better. I'm gonna agree. You know, we can push. Waffle House is better at certain things, but IHOP is good, man. But definitely Preston appreciate that. All right, man. You be easy, webcam CEO. Yes, we will. William, how you doing? Yeah, some parts of this is really bad. This is the other. This is still a struggle. That's a Prince Austin. I've had power for days. I feel for all of them. Shoot, not having power sucks. Yeah, I mean, it sucks. It sucks. There's no, yeah. Williams is actually clicking a few tonight. That's what's up. Clinking. That is definitely what's up. Hmm. This is a great show as always. Take care, everyone. Stay warm. William says, what? What'd that say? Pen where you take 4 bricks, use 2 inside. What county lights? Include clay pot on top of bricks, so air stay an inch. Keep one room warm. Wow, really? I guess the radiant heat from the tea light, huh? That's crazy. I guess it's like a little radiator. That's really interesting. No, so Laura, the snow that I got was at the end of the driveway, my driveway, and it was untouched. The only thing I had to make sure was I didn't go down too far to get any of the crush and run from the driveway, and I just like skimmed. There was a layer of ice on top, and then like an inch or two of snow, and like I said, just as long as I didn't get too low, I didn't have to worry about picking up any rocks. And anytime I skimmed or hit the bottom, I'm like, oh, I chucked that shovel full of snow and got more. I'm like, there's plenty of snow around. Problems with clay pots, if they are cold, they shatter. They can. So the key is to warm them up at the same temperature. Or yeah, so you don't want to shock them with heat. As always, guys, this is always super fun. You never know where this conversation is gonna go. Gonna lead.
I hear that though.
Let's see.
There's a reason why you two are on top and us two are on bottom.
My point is being, what would be better for YouTube? What would be better for the guest? What would be better for the host would be if the shows were not.
So I'm checking in with
It'd be a completely different thing.
Mr. Homeowner.
It's not a him and us. It's a him and 5 other channels that I'm not gonna fucking name names of, but I can.
I don't even know them.
Literally doing the same thing at the same fucking over and over and over again. It's better for him or the other people if they come up with different shit. I'm gonna see another cat asshole, motherfucker. And
I love him cats.
better for everybody if it's different. Fucking Rob, I hate you. I'm done co-hosting the show. I'm done. It's better for I'm saying this, number one, because I'm slightly irritated. Number two, because it's better for everybody if it's different.
Yeah, but there's nothing new under the sun. I'm willing to drop a like.
Yes, it's better for the viewers. That's why I'm literally fucking this guy's eyes out on a fucking daily basis at this point.
And the language. So anyway, yes, definitely yellow snow. Light a bottle of moonshine with a wick. Heck no.
Get crazy because I'm like, all right, if they're gonna copy, we're gonna change. I've never said that to him in that terminology, but that's been my point. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
fucking this guy's eyes out on a fucking daily basis point.
Yeah.
It driving him batshit crazy because I'm like, all right,
Definitely. That is alcohol abuse.
we're gonna change. I've never said that to him in that terminology, but that's been my point, Rob. Now you know.
Hey, who cares? He does a show on Wednesday, he's on Thursday. Who's the fuck?
Hey, let's all just do the same 30-minute fucking copyright.
Yeah,
And it'll be the same boring shit day after day.
But what,
You know,
what else?
like Keith, Cats, Rob, Mr. Homeowner, Colin, Barbecue, SDSBBQ. We're all doing basic bitch smash burgers. Everybody do that tomorrow. It'll be the same video tomorrow on YouTube, and nobody will watch maybe but one.
Well, see, first of all, you can fucking press play or fucking not on any fucking show.
Chris, Eastman, you got some kind of weird.
Something on his hat.
Yeah, that.
Any,
It's on my neck.
Can you get rid of that?
No, man, it's awesome.
now,
Can I pull it? Pull it.
You can't pull it.
here's the point. We can argue about
All right.
bullshit on a hat, or we can sit there and go, oh, wait.
All right. So yeah, Moo, but there's only so few of the heads that you know, it would take a lot in order to take it to the point where, yeah. Yeah, I hid the chocolate. So the box, Laura, hopefully you can see the box is here. And it's in a chair. So we shall see. I'm gonna I have to be sparing with them because they'll want to eat it all in one night. Mooboo says, "Take the damn Smarties, leave the M&Ms." Swick burns forever. Huh. A can of Crisco and a shoelace. Nice. Oh, leave the Smarties. I think the thing with the bricks and the clay pots is once it gets warm, they radiate heat. That's what I was saying, Laura. When you said it, I was like, oh, it sounds like it kind of like a radiator almost. I guess a terracotta kind of absorbs the heat from the tea light, and it's a very small light or very small heat source. Mubu says, you're absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. This depends on the batch of the shine, but I don't know, man. I like high proof stuff too, so don't put it past me to take the heads and want to drink some of that too, because just like Laura said, that's alcohol abuse. If you using it just to make a fire. Oof, goodness. I almost say I'd take the heads and put them back in, but obviously the first little bit you're gonna chuck. But I, yeah, yeah. So that's what I was trying to tell Laura, Jimmy. Um, Laura and the South Smarties are pressed flavored sugar, and they're not even that very well flavored. uh, mm, mm. Take the cannoli. Yeah, I swear I've heard that in a movie before. Candy coated milk chocolate. Not here. Our Smarties are just like you said. They're pressed. They're hard. They're almost like hard candies, but they're not like a hard candy like a Jolly Rancher. Mooses and gross. Thank you, Troy. I'm like, I know I've heard that line before. uh, I just couldn't remember exactly what it was from, but still. Uh, let's see here. These guys.
I'm playing sides here at all. I'm just
Come up with something on your own.
Oh my god. Okay, because no one's had a food cook show. He doesn't ask about fucking Mount Rushmore. Of course you're gonna
Did you
have.
watch the last two hot seats?
Who was in the last one?
You didn't obviously watch it then.
No, I did. I have, but I probably haven't.
So we changed the format to the first half hour. It's just three of us talking. Then we bring on people to ask questions. Now, are you going to tell the dude bring on people to ask questions?
No, I
Because
did.
now you're just copying again.
Yeah. Mm. You're absolutely right, Troy. I was not born. I had to watch it later in life, and I was debating whether I was gonna tell you this. I didn't the hype around that movie. I won't say it was lost on me, but I definitely it was not like that. This is one of the greatest movies ever. Not for me. Not for me. Yeah, exactly. Definitely. I would drink it. I would definitely drink it. So, all right, guys, I am going to wrap this up. I'm kind of intrigued by what's going on Mr. Homeowner's channel right now because they're talking about the hot seat and making changes to it, and the language that one of these guys is using is a little bit much for what I like to use and talk on my channel. But I kind of want to kind of eavesdrop a little bit and listen in and see what they're talking about. But yeah. So I got some things to do in the kitchen, and I will listen in. Shatter it. Heat reflector in the clay pot. Once it warms up, to lessen the chance of it breaking. Huh. I think the air gap is one of the things that probably is going to help with that, because if the wick, the candle is too close, then it will probably break the terracotta. Choices with Godfather 2 was better. By the time you saw it, 1,000 imitators had come out. Yeah. Hey Jimmy, thank you, and Jimmy, I will definitely be in touch because, like I said, I think I might be coming close to that direction or in that direction sooner than later. I mean, this guy, I don't think he's in a rush to get this arcade equipment, but you know, it will be nice to be able to do it soon. You see my chat because my internet went poof and back. Yes, I can. I can see you, Laura. Good night. Stephen, good night, sir. Be easy. Pots aren't fire clay. Mubu, it probably would depend. But terracotta is pretty good at taking them and I won't say taking heat, but pretty much, yeah. And maybe you need to turn the pot upside down so that the tea light is heating up the inside of the terracotta, and that'll move it away, and it'll be enough for radiant heat because the terracotta will absorb that heat and then radiate that heat out. All right. So maybe that's the key. Maybe you're thinking about it, I don't say wrong, but you have your bricks and then you turn the terracotta upside down, and that heat going in is what's going to help radiate the terracotta. All right, guys. Thank you so very much for hanging out. Really, really, really appreciate you being here. Until next week, I'll see you.